Hi, my name is Jon Baker and I've had the fantastic privilege of working with a number of amazing people over the years, most of which have been introverts, and I've been lucky enough to see them grow and prosper in their chosen career path as salespeople, as business owners who love going to networking meetings, or at least get successful from their networking meetings, as managers, as leaders, all those things that you've been told introverts can't do. And the little voice in your head is going, "Oh, that's really hard because I'm an introvert." As part of my work, I've interviewed hundreds of great, successful introverts about what worked for them. And I'm just going to share that quick formula with you. It's called STOP. First part of STOP is to, stop worrying, stop apologising. And the trouble with it is, the more you go, because the less you're focused on what's important. So stop worrying. But now let's talk about some of the other parts of stop. S. Strengths. What are your strengths? That's what you've got to play to. Stop this idea of trying to become an extrovert, trying to succeed on everyone else's terms. What are your strengths? What do you do incredibly well? Focus on that, because that's what people really want from you. Many introverts are amazing at detail. Virtually all the introverts I've ever known are really good listeners. They're good summarisers, and they're great at contributing to discussions because they've listened to all of the points of view and they can summarise the key points of all of them. That also means that they tend to be good facilitators, running meetings. There's lots of things which you can do with those skills, but what are your strengths? Focus on those. The T in STOP is for time. Give yourself the gift of time. I'm sure that you would recognise that if you were to go to a long meeting, a loud conference for a day, you're exhausted afterwards. That's part of the thing about being an introvert. Being with all those people tends to tire us. Knowing that, arrange some quiet time afterwards. Give yourself the gift of time. The first ever big conference I went to was a 2-day affair. Brilliant. I was shattered afterwards for 2 more days. Unfortunately, I hadn't thought about it. So on the Monday morning after the weekend of conference, I was out to work, as much use as a chocolate teapot. Now I book some time off. And if I can't book time off, I at least break the meeting down into small chunks where I can spend some time alone or whatever helps me to recharge. Give yourself the gift of time. And then the O in STOP. Orient. Orient yourself and the important other people around you around your needs and the way that you work as an introvert, because it will amazingly help you. Let me give you a quick example. So a couple of friends of mine, in fact I can count many friends of mine, where one is an introvert and their partner is an extrovert. And sometimes the introverted one will get home at the end of a day and they just want to stop and process and think about what they've learned in that day. And they want to sit quietly to re-energise. And that's all going very well until the other partner comes in, who is an extrovert, bouncing off the ceiling with energy and wanting to talk about their day. You can imagine. But when people orient themselves around it, then, and only then, they can start to work out what they need to be doing. And finally, P, get a position. You know those meetings, conferences, even parties that you sometimes need to go to? Well, get yourself a position and you will find they are a lot less problematic. That could be part of the team that welcomes people into the conference. That could be any number of things, part of the people that just make sure that nobody's standing on their own. That could be the clearer upper at the party. It doesn't matter. The great things about having a position, number one, it helps you get into conversations, something which introverts don't always like doing. But imagine yourself as that welcome person, and all the introverts I've ever known that have done this have found it incredibly helpful. They can walk up to people, they can chat to them, and then the second really important thing, they can walk away before they get stuck into a conversation they're struggling with, because they can use the polite excuse of they've got to go and welcome other guests or whatever that role is. So get yourself a position. So I'm Jon Baker and I would love to talk to you about introversion and what helps you to be a better introvert. Thanks a lot.